Good morning, everybody. I don't want you to faint or fall over, but I'm going to finally do part one of the garden tour. It has been so hot and humid that it's just taken me so long to do everything that I was trying to get done before it got any hotter this summer. But the heat wave started early and the humidity has just been out of sight. You can't do anything outside that you're not just literally dripping. So I've just been able to work a while each day and go in and cool off, and it just was never time to do the tours. So I decided that hot or not, and it's hot and humid already, it's already in the 80s this morning, and the humidity is super high. So I'm sweating, so if you see them drips I told you running down in front of the camera, it's just me sweating, it's not rain. We did luck in. Monday was the first day we had that did not have any humidity at all, and I stayed outside all day trying to complete projects. And Tuesday was just a little bit of humidity, and then once Wednesday came, horrible, and it's been horrible ever since. We did get a really hard thunderstorm Thursday evening, and we got 2.5 inches of rain. It did beat down a lot of my flowers, but I am so thankful for the rain. You'll see some little twigs and things, leaves blown down, but that's okay. We know I don't strive for a perfect garden. I strive to have a garden that John and I can enjoy the beauty in it, because no matter what else is going on, there's always something beautiful in your garden. And we do love it out here. So without any further ado, let's get started. Right here, this is at the start of the Woodland garden. That's where I'm going to show you today. Y'all know I showed you that in early spring when it was absolutely horrible. The weeds, and I mean, it was just awful. I was ashamed of it, actually. John helped get all the briars out, and then I couldn't tell you how many bags of weeds I pulled. So I did get it all straight and started decorating it, and I'm really pleased with how it looks now. So I'll start right here with this antique wheelbarrow. It's looking pretty good considering early on it got pruned. All the blooms were pruned off by, I'm presuming, a deer. And I do spray, but I've never sprayed the impatiens. I've never sprayed the Coleus, and it's a couple other things. All the heucheras, they've been eating those, and I'd never sprayed those before, but now I have to start spraying those too, because I think they thought since I sprayed the hostas and the lilies that they were going to find something to eat. And I have this one mama squirrel that's been coming here for about 5 years. I can tell it's her because she's crippled. She said, I'm going to have my salad bar one way or the other. So, you know, they're just trying to live. I hate when they eat my things, but, you know, I can't fault them. They're just trying to live. But anyway, the wheelbarrow's doing good considering that. And this pot here, this is just a pot of pieces of things that have fallen off of other plants. There's some impatiens. There's the purple queen. There's a strawberry plant right there, perennial strawberry plant, and spider plant. So anything breaks off, I don't throw it away. I either try to root it or I just stick it directly in the dirt, and it does fine. So we're going to walk around this way and come in to the Woodland garden from this direction up here. I'll do the summer room probably either tomorrow or the next day. There's the shutter that John made into an angel. The dianthus, of course, aren't blooming. I need to shear them back and they will bloom again. And this pot here has lots of pieces of things too. It has, that's pineapple sage, has coleus and pieces of wandering dew that's in there. Dusty Miller was the only plant that I actually bought. The rest of it is just pieces. And I did buy this right here, the herb. This is Groovy Ground Cover. And it's in a wheelbarrow we got at a yard sale a couple years ago. I'll just kind of give you an overview. We'll look at this bed right here a little later, but I do want to show you these. I don't know where these white lilies came from. We've never had white lilies right here. They've always been pink. So this was a pleasant surprise, and it's just beautiful. So I'll take it. I don't care if it's pink or white. But we'll look at this bed and the other beds around the summer room a little closer when we do that tour. The little gnome or elf, he came from a yard sale years ago. This asparagus fern, I have been taking it in and out of the garage for many years. Beautiful Japanese maple. There's one of my bowling balls that I use instead of gazing balls. And I meant to get up here and clean it, shine it off, and it will clean up, but I just didn't have time. And the spider plant is something that we've been taking in and out of the garage. I have lots of babies I can plant. The fuchsia is still living, which I'm surprised because of the heat and the drought. I love these beautiful blooms on the hosta, and the hummingbirds love hosta blooms, so I leave the blooms, and these are such a pretty shade of lavender. We'll go in there in just a minute and show you that closer too. This Ligularia, I told you years ago we dug it up and moved it somewhere else. It didn't live where we moved it, but a piece came back, and it will have a yellow flower stalk later on. Just give you a little peep over here. There's the angel that everybody loves that we got at a yard sale years ago. This is Sweet Autumn Clematis or Clematis. It'll bloom this fall. My laundry tub has had this Japanese painted fern, hosta, and a stilby in it. It's been there at least 3 years. And this darling little cart. If this area wasn't in a shade, I wouldn't be doing this video right now, because out in the sun, it is terribly hot. There's the variegated Jacob's ladder. It's just beautiful, even when it doesn't have a bloom on it. Gorgeous Japanese maples. These are mostly Japanese maples over here. There's one of John's little Grinch chairs. Another bowling ball. Little cart came from a yard sale. Lots of hostas in here. Baby boy, since I moved that farmer's market bench back there, he loves laying on that. And there's the headboard of that antique baby bed we got last year. It's painted and leaned up against the fence. Lots of unusual hostas in here. I think this is curly fries, if I'm not mistaken. Creeping Jenny and beautiful Coleus. Lots of hostas in pots. This area in here is so hard to dig on account of all the tree roots. Another asparagus fern that we saved in the garage. Ray Dunn bird houses hanging in the trees. There's one of the other pieces of that baby bed. You'll see that when we do the other tour. That obelisk back there, John did make that out of copper. Little bicycle came from a yard sale. I have a couple pots waiting for things that I'm rooting. There's an old milk crate. This bench right here is one John made out of a antique headboard. The pieces of the purple queen I put in here. I love that plant because you can make 1,000 plants and you don't have to even put it in water and root it. I just make a hole in the dirt and stuff it in, and it does wonderful. These are some of our miniature hostas. That one back there is mouse ears. There's a coral bells that wasn't doing well in the ground, so I dug it up and put it in a pot. And the same with this little hosta till I can get them growing. A fern leaf bleeding heart, a small hosta, and Jenny, and they're sitting on another antique milk crate. And in this antique chair we got at a yard sale, that's the asparagus fern that we've been keeping alive for years, and in it are some volunteer impatiens. Here are those two gorgeous baskets that we got recently at a yard sale for $10 a piece. And the table is one that came from a yard sale too, as did the bench. The bench is dirty because of that super hard rain. It's one of the hardest rains we've had forever. Water was running down the road like a river. Another wandering Jew. This bench over here came out of the trash and John painted it. And I'll show you that up close in just a moment. That chair there is one, well, let's put it like this. Today we had some yard sales, but they were terrible. We didn't buy one thing. Yesterday we had one yard sale and we bought this chair for $7, and it's a nice heavy old metal chair. And then I bought this wrought iron piece. The lady that was selling it didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was, but I knew I was going to put a flower pot in it. You'll see that it's in the summer room. And then I got a gorgeous English snow scene plate, a vintage one. I think I spent a total of $10 yesterday, but $0 today. But I'll show you that chair in just a minute. Here's another little stool we got at a yard sale. The pot that this wonderful fern is in came from a yard sale. This one is curly fries. Well, I'm not sure what the one over there is. I'll go back over there because I know a lot of y'all like to know the names, and most of the time I don't know the names because the tags are gone. Let's see. This one is called Party Streamers. I love the unusual hostas, and hostas will always be a favorite, even if I do have to spray them a lot with liquid fence to keep the deer from eating them. Excuse me. Alright, we'll go back here. I have to watch out for spider webs because I have already run through several of them. More beautiful hostas. And a beautiful, beautiful Japanese maple. Well, two Japanese maples. This little yellow chair we bought at a yard sale. It looks like it's cast iron, but it's actually plastic, and it was yellow when we bought it. And I have more hostas. And in this bird bath, this is one that would not hold the water, so I decided to plant it. I saw it on several people's videos, but the latest one I saw it on was, I can't remember now who it was, but I didn't come up with this idea. I've seen it on Pinterest and on several videos, but I love the idea. So I put dirt in the bird bath, put some clay pots all around, put some creeping Jenny, set a pot that had a pedestal on top with some miniature hostas and some more little pots. Have the vine hanging down. and the sweet potato vine, and I love it. I think it is so pretty. And I need to get some more pieces of some more vines and stick in those things, and I will do it. But I just love that. And more hostas, another bowling ball. And over there is where all the way down from the back of our yard, the fence, all the way down to the edge of that flower bed is where I have done some major work. In the old big giant stew pot, a really pretty hosta. This was a canning pot. As John said, I will plant in anything. And I love using old things. John painted this obelisk. This is one a friend that is no longer with us made and gave us years ago. So he repainted it so it would show up, and he painted the flower blue to go with it. Another wonderful birdhouse. Everything in this pot sitting in this cute little cart that came from a yard sale. These are all pieces I broke off and just stuck in the dirt. I'll show you that chair in just a second. I'll give you an overview of this side. And if y'all want to go back and look at one of those early spring, maybe March or April, you can see how bad this side looked. It took 22 bags to mulch it. And I already see a few weeds coming back, but at least I think it'll be manageable now. Here's this chair that we got for $7. Beautiful detail on it. And I even love the color of it. And for once, John agreed with me. You know how he loves to paint stuff if he thinks it's rusty. But we left this one just as it is, and it matches that little cart right there, just perfect. This big obelisk right here, John made that years ago, and the little curlicues are made out of copper tubing, and he painted it red this time. Another gorgeous Japanese maple. The little tree that's right in front of the white obelisk, that is a volunteer oak leaf hydrangea, and the deer ate it. It'll come back. I want to show you the sun shining on that maple. Isn't that beautiful? I love the woodland garden because it's a lot cooler in here than it is. It gets just a tiny little bit of sun through the leaves. This white pot and the stand came from a yard sale, and that's another foxtail fern. This little cart right here, John made that. Just think it is adorable. And I love that it's verdade. And some of my old clay pots and an asparagus fern. That piece behind it, I have no idea what it was, but I've had it in my gardens for years and years. Another bowling ball. This bush had mostly died, so I cut it down way over halfway, and it's coming back. Back there is a shutter that John made into a patriotic display. I love it. I think that birdhouse came from a yard sale, if I'm not mistaken. There's a flag back on the fence, and a trellis that came from a yard sale, and the red star on the trellis came from a yard sale. That's a peony right over on the right-hand side of this gorgeous Japanese maple. John made this water can thing with the north, south, east, and west on it. Chocolate vine and climbing hydrangea on this arbor that me and John built many years ago. All this brick sidewalk we would do some each summer. We kept projects going when we were young. You can see another bowling ball up there. And look at the sun shining on the maples. And we're back to this gorgeous wheelbarrow. I will show you right here. That's one of those Kimberly ferns, and I'm going to try keeping that in the garage. This is the first year I've had one of those. But you can see the little thing John made out of the antique water can. You know, in our yard, that's another thing. There's so many wonderful memories because John has made so many things in this yard, or restored or repurposed it. He made this trellis right here out of copper tubing. So it's just lots of memories, and we love it. So that, and you can see how big this tree is. So that's the end of the Woodland Gardens tour. I hope you enjoyed seeing it. I know this is kind of a long video, but it was a lot to see. So love and blessings to y'all from me and John and baby boy, and I'll be back tomorrow, the next day, with another garden video. Enjoy your weekend. We appreciate each of y'all so much. Till the next time, bye-bye.